I'm sorry?
I don't want to get out.
I'm sorry. You're a child and you don't get to make all the decisions. Sweetheart, I hate to say this, but you're being real ugly right now. This is being super duper disrespectful, and you need to come home now. And if I have to call a police officer to come help me, I would hate to have to do that, but I sure enough will.
So you came to bring the kid back, right?
Yes.
For my children.
Okay. You don't want to get off?
No, sir, I'm scared to go in.
This clip is an old story that happened back in 2013. The great thing about these old videos is that situations like these take a very long time to unfold. And now it's been about 7 years, and we can kind of binge watch the entire story. We'll begin with the video that started it all, that has 30 million views on it. This video stars Parker, who is 14 years old, and he has decided that he no longer wants to live with his mother, Candace. On this day, Parker's dad, Caleb, went to drop him off at his mom's house along with his 3 siblings, but Parker refuses to get out of the car, and so drama ensues. Now, Parker's mom is a very good manipulator to the untrained eye. A lot of the techniques that she uses would go completely unnoticed, but let me say this because I haven't said it in a while. The great thing about all of this is that if you can pick up the techniques, they will not work on you. And that's all you need to do. There's no great battle here. You just have to recognize the manipulation and not engage with it. All you have to do is stop falling into the traps, and your lives will immediately get better. So let's talk about how Candace is manipulating and abusing her son. I counted at least 10 different things Parker's mom uses to manipulate him. I'm not going to go over all of them, but I will go over the most prominent ones.
Parker.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's go. It's time to go in and talk. This is not the way to go about this.
What is the way to go?
I already told you to come in and tell me what your concerns are, to come in and talk to me.
I think my concerns are here.
If you want to be, no, because it's time to go in.
Okay, this one was really good. If you watch the whole hour of Parker talking with his mom, you're going to notice that his mom is very socially fluent. She knows how to handle a conversation. And I think what she did right here is something that most people would completely miss. Multiple times during the video, she says that Parker needs to go inside the house so that she can talk his problems out with her. Why is she doing this? As Parker said, why can't they just talk it out where they are? There's no reason why they can't do that. Well, there is a reason why they need to go in the house. Because his mom needs to isolate him from his father. That is what abusers do. They isolate you from the help of your friends and family. That way you are weak and vulnerable. Parker's mom wants to take his father Caleb out of the equation, who, by the way, is mostly silent during this interaction. Despite the behavior of his mom, Parker's dad is fairly professional during the interaction, as he sits back and lets Parker talk to his mom. The second technique that Parker's mom is using is that it creates a 2-on-1 social situation as opposed to a 2-on-2 situation, which gives social proof to the mother. This is something I actually learned during a brief period in sales. We would do anything we could to add more people onto our side. If you were selling to a customer, you would say something like, "We have a 20% off deal, but I don't have access to the promo code right now. Let me get my manager so he can type it into the computer for you." Boom. Now the manager is on the sale. Now it's a 2-on-1 sale, and there's more social pressure on the client. How about 3? Well, you know what? Let me get Jim. He's our tech guy, and he can explain the technical details much better than we can. Now you have 3 people on one, and that makes it way harder for the client to say no. That's what Candace is doing. She's trying to isolate Parker from her father and put him in front of a situation where it's Parker versus her and Parker's stepdad And that's why they're saying we'll have more social proof, which will make it way easier to get Parker to comply with his mother. But after this, Parker's mom accuses his father of being high all the time and says that his father is a bad influence and a deadbeat. But when Parker asks why she refuses to specify her allegations and give any actual explanations of her excuses, she can't do it.
There's a lot of things that Caleb has checked out on by his own choosing.
As in what?
You name it, baby.
What a fantastic non-answer. Then she pulls the "her who hurt you."
I'm telling you, you need to get your little bottom out of this car, and you need to come in. Well, first, I just want to hug you because I can see that you're hurting.
Parker, come inside so I can give you a hug. Dude, that's just another tactic to get him away from his dad. Then she pulls another trick and tries to start changing the language around. She calls Parker's dad by his first name and then refers to his stepdad as his father.
Do you think FaceTiming is the same? Do you think that the same relationship you would have with Caleb if all you did was FaceTime him? No. Daddy's going to call the cops. You need to get out. You need to do the right thing.
Daddy, as in his stepfather, is calling the police on him. She did that on purpose, and she does it many times throughout the video. With the exception of a few times, Parker's dad is almost exclusively referred to as Caleb, that man or him.
It's no longer visitation with your father, and it's time to come home. Okay?
Time to come home, as in when he's with his father, he's not at home. In her words, he is over there. After this, she tries to pull every trick in the book to get her son out of the car. She emotionally abuses him by saying, "You would never do this to your father."
You wouldn't do this to him.
She tells him if he goes with his dad, she will forbid him from getting his stuff like his backpack, where he keeps all of his schoolwork.
That's where your backpack is. For crying out loud, I'm not going to bring you your stuff.
She tries to bribe him with a car.
You don't even know. Like, this is the biggest day of your life, and you don't even know what you're doing.
What's the biggest day of my life?
Oh my gosh, Parker. We were going to pull your Trans Am around in just a minute. Your car's here.
Okay.
Yay! We're so excited to show you and film it.
What is a 14-year-old going to do with a sports car? He can't drive. She even spends a bit of time playing the victim by making herself small and talking with a softer voice. She suggests that Parker's father wants to shoot her. She cries randomly, and then she calls her friend to help her with her other kids. She cries and cries again, and then police get there.
But I do not think you're safe over there, and I will not just let you drive off in this car.
And I don't think I'm safe over here.
Well, why?
Because you've hit me before.
I will hit you again. I will spank you again.
No, you don't.
guarantee
You don't spank. You hit me in the face.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. And you choked. You have grabbed my throat before and pushed me up against the wall one time because I did my boots, and you would not let me bring them over. I remember it because we were in the hallway by my room.
I don't choke you, Parker.
No, you did not choke me, but you had your hands around my neck, and you and him were cornering me, and I will not go back over here. Please, for the love of God, let me leave.
No.
I will hit you again. That's a nice threat. Let's see what Parker's dad says in the other video.
This isn't how our society, I don't think this is a healthy society to raise kids in, to punish and beat and yell and scream and arrest and in order to correct behavior. Regrettably, and I've talked about this in the past, I've spanked them, but even that, those few times is too much.
So we have one parent who openly says that she's going to continue to use violence against her kids, while the other one says that violence is wrong, and he regrets using force against his kids at all the few times that he did something. Anyway, Parker's mom tries to force him out of the car.
I think he told her to consider letting me go.
I have legal custody of you, Parker, and I'm unlocking this car. No, you're my child.
I'm not getting out.
No.
I'm gonna explain it to you also. Okay.
I'm getting you out of the car. Can we ask for the door to be unlocked?
You can unlock it.
Do what?
This is a parent-child situation.
Get out of the car,
No.
Parker.
This is a civil issue. Like you're saying you're following the order you about it.
Get out
She
of
has
the car.
You said that she has
Mom, no.
This is really the wrong way to do this.
Get her arm out.
No, I'm not getting my arm out. You're my kid.
Stop.
You're
Stop.
my kid.
Stop.
No, I'm not gonna stop.
Stop. Stop.
I can't.
Stop.
Ow!
Neither am I.
Parker,
If I have to use force to get you out.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. It's a civil issue.
This is ridiculous.
It's a parent-child.
Come home.
No.
That's what's going on. Why?
I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Did I get my...
Yes, sir. I gave you yours back. I saw that first.
Okay, thanks.
And I'm allowed to do whatever to get this baby out of the car. Can my husband help me?
Please don't. No. Get.
Okay, he's
Stop.
a step parent. He has
No.
custody.
Stop.
No.
Get out. Get out.
Did go a little overboard when he shouted at her, but imagine how you would feel if you were 14 and you're about to be forced to go into a home where your parents are abusing you. Both his mom and his stepdad are abusive. More importantly, when Parker's mom tries to force her way into the car, she gets stopped by the police for causing a disturbance. Then she asked the police if she could charge her own son with assault for rolling the window up on her arm.
When you start screaming and yelling and trying to rolling up,
Yeah.
then that could be considered assault.
Okay.
That could be considered
I want a
assault.
record, and I want a record
Then
of
what
what
do we
your
do for me to
recommendations
press
are
charges
as an
against
officer.
him? I'm prepared to do that right now.
And I appreciate y'all being civil
Right
about this.
Right there.
I
Right
really
there.
do.
You don't see that?
So you want to press assault charge?
Anything to get him away from
No,
that
he's
man.
going with it.
Even if he
Yes,
if
story
he
I
if
hear
you
is
want to go ahead and file the
he hates it
assault
here,
charge,
but
he's probably going
I've
with
never,
it. If he's
obviously never
assaulting you,
been
I can't
inside
leave
the
him here.
home. I don't.
Can you believe that she would create a police record for her own son for defending himself, that she tried to assault him and recruit his stepfather to assault him also? The comp tells her that if she presses charges, Parker has to go with his dad because he can't leave Parker in the home if they have been violent. Looks like that plan failed on her part. At this point, I just want to say this. This may seem pretty obvious, but you shouldn't have to use force to get your kid to go to live with you. They should be jumping to see you if you're a good parent. The fact that Parker is not happy to see his mom tells us that she is doing something very wrong. She shouldn't have to use violence to get him out of the car. She shouldn't have to use violence when she parents at all. Candace goes on this big tirade about how Parker is being disrespectful. Well, what have you done to earn your child's respect? You're abusing him. He doesn't owe you anything. If you want respect, start acting like a good person and earn it. You don't earn respect by demanding it. You earn respect by showing good character.
She just called me her baby, but she's threatening to sue me.
I'm not trying
You
to sue
just said
I'm
you were
doing
gonna press
anything
charges.
I can to get you away from him, babe.
I'm your baby, but you were gonna press charges on me because you put your arm in the window and I tried to peacefully get it out.
Anything to get you away from Caleb right now,
Do you
babe.
see the tension here?
Anything to get you away from your father. What a disgusting, horrible mother. That's a good catch for a 14-year-old, by the way. A few minutes later, the officer tells Parker that that him and his dad are free to leave and that Parker can stay with his father. Parker goes into the house to get his schoolwork and claims his mom tried to forcefully block him from doing so while he was in the house off camera. Once he grabs his stuff, they leave. As for the rest of the story, there's a lot. There's about 22 videos in relation to this case, and there's a ton to cover. But I'm going to try to do this as concisely as possible. So after the event, Parker stays with his dad for 2.5 months until they go to court, and this is the result of the court case.
What we have right now is a judge signing a court order stating that sole custody is in fact of your mother.
Sole custody of the mother. Dad gets visitation, and we have evidence of her abusing her son, and she gets custody.
family court.
Obviously, Parker is not happy about this.
I don't know why she thinks that making you live with her is going to make you love her.
Because she's psycho. Anyone watching this, she's psycho.
So his mom doesn't really miss a beat. She continues her behavior to keep Parker away from his dad by confiscating his cell phone that belongs to his dad and that Parker smuggled into her house. Parker was using the phone to call his father outside of a visit, and she could not have that. Eventually, Parker grows up and gets set free at 17. Candace seems to love to deny that she is abusive. But I'll have to say that kids don't lie. Bad parents hate it when their kids misbehave because it reflects poorly on the parenting, no matter how much they try to hide who they are. The behavior of their kids always reveals who the parents are. That being said, in 2017, Candace called the police on her younger son, Blaine, and she had him committed to a mental hospital and drugged him up on Abilify. Interesting. One more thing I wanted to point out, because I think that 14-year-old Parker was very brave in that the first video, and he did a great job for standing up for himself. You can see he is obviously uncomfortable doing that. He is fighting somebody who is much more skilled than him. You can tell that he's uncomfortable because his voice is very low, and he's very awkward in the way that he speaks. But he did do something important that I think that a lot of people are too afraid to do. And they don't know how to get to the point where they can do what Parker did. That's the good thing in this stuff, is that it's not magic. There is a way to become brave and mitigate your fear when you are under stress. However, the answer is not really that pretty. The cure to not being afraid when you need to stand up for yourself is anger. You need to get angry. Anger walk all over you, then you need to get angry. So angry that you will actually do something about it. You have to be careful though, because anger is a volatile force. Think of Bruce Banner. He has the power of the Incredible Hulk and he can do amazing good. But when the Hulk gets out of control, he destroys everything around him. So there are rules. You don't get to physically attack people when you're mad unless they physically attack you first. When you start, you can yell and scream all you want, as long as you aren't around a child. Yelling and screaming is wrong, but it's not going to kill anyone, and it's not going to cause any damage to an adult. However, there's another rule. You should be striving to stand up for yourself while using as little force as possible, which means that you shouldn't be yelling after you've had a lot of practice. You should be striving to de-escalate the situation as much as possible. Your goal is to develop the anger and shouting into assertiveness, and that you're going to be assertive while you're being kind as possible. You'll find that you can get past quite a number of difficult situations just by being clear on your beliefs while you're being nice. That's how you stand up for yourself and keep people from walking all over you. It's going to be ugly at first, but if you can deal with these situations politely, kindly, and nicely, people will really start to respect you and you'll have a better chance of getting a favorable result. Love to my tallest, I miss you, and I love you.